I want to talk to someone who was at the rally in Tampa last night. He's covered countless of these and has become one of the president's favorite human punching bags. CNN Chief White House Correspondent Jim Acosta. Jim, we've seen your videos, and I've been to these events too. I've met with countless Trump supporters. Even I was shocked at the level of vitriol that was aimed your way last night. Give us an idea of what it felt like to be in the middle of it.
Well, Essie, I mean, honestly, it felt like we weren't in America anymore. I don't know how to put it any more plainly than that. Americans should not be treating their fellow Americans in this way. But unfortunately, what we've seen, and this has been building for some time since the campaign, I've been talking about this as an issue since the campaign, when the president during the campaign referred to us as the dishonest media, the disgusting news media, liars, scum, and thieves, and so on, and then he rolled that right into the Oval Office and started calling us fake news and the enemy of the people. He is whipping these crowds up into a frenzy to the point where they really want to come after us. And we have these bike rack like barriers around the press cage, as we call it, to protect us essentially from people who might take things too far. It's unfortunate because, and I try to calmly talk to a lot of these folks at the rally last night to say, listen, hey, tell me what you want to talk about here. Why are you guys so upset with us? And they would kind of go through a list of questions. Most of the questions were about, why don't you guys report positive news about the president? And I said, hey, you know what? We do that. We were reporting on this positive job numbers in the economy last Friday. And my sense of it, Essie, is that these opinions that these folks have at these rallies, they're shaped by what they see in the primetime hours of Fox News and what they hear from some conservative news outlets that just sort of give them this daily diet of what they consider to be terrible things that we do over here at CNN. It's very unfortunate, but it's a pitting of American against American, and honestly, it needs to stop.
Last night you tweeted, I'm very worried that the hostility whipped up by Trump and some in the conservative media will result in somebody getting hurt. We should not treat our fellow Americans this way. The press is not the enemy. Trump's been bashing the media for a while now. What makes you think it's at this sort of pivot point now, this really dangerous pivot point?
Well, I think it's been dangerous for some time. I was worried during the campaign that a journalist was going to get hurt, and it has been building. But when you refer to the members of the press as the enemy of the people, you're essentially putting targets on our backs. And it's not just some, Joe Schmo on a bar stool in Kalamazoo saying this. This is the president of the United States, and that comes, with a serious force behind it. And, he has a lot of people out there who are extremely angry at us. And what I've been saying to these folks at these rallies is, hey, watch what we do on CNN, form your conclusions based on that. But listen, we can't just do the news for the Republicans. We have to do the news for all Americans. And that means we have to report on everything that's going on. I had a lady say to me at the rally last night, why can't you guys be like Walter Cronkite over at CBS News? I said to the lady, I said, you remember this. This was an elderly woman. I said, you remember this. Walter Cronkite said on the CBS Evening News that essentially the Vietnam War had been lost, and Lyndon Johnson at that time, a Democratic president, said, well, if I've lost Cronkite, I've lost the country. And so journalists do form conclusions based on their observations from time to time. But I strongly defend what we do at CNN, that we do straight news, real news, no matter what the president says. And so I think we're just going to have to keep talking to these folks at these rallies. I felt that as I talked to them, folks seemed to calm down. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think we just have to keep at it, Essie.
Jim, thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate everything you do.